Hey, what's up guys? It's Brian from the Unbound Series channel, and today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the Avengers Infinity War Part 2. Stick around. Alright guys, so before we get into the video topic, I just want to give a quick shout out to my pal Eve. I'm sure you guys remember her if you're a longtime viewer. She's my good friend and fellow neo-pagan, etc. And she is working on an entire book series, and I think she's like way ahead of her book series than I am on mine. If you guys are longtime viewers and you know that I've written one too. But I'm in the description and in the pinned comment below this video, I'm going to have a link that I want you guys to go check out. This is the shout out for the week, by the way, in case you're wondering. It is a link to her first finished full, like from beginning to end story. It's a great story. If you are a fan of, like, for example, something like Twilight, you like that, that romancy kind of, with a supernatural twist type story, then she's got you covered, because let's face it, guys, it can't be any worse than Twilight. Great concept, can't stand the details. Anyway, but that is not the case for my pal Eve's book. It's very unique. All the story has a crazy like system to it. The characters are all sorts of traumatized, so to speak. So go check that out. Go get you this really dark, gritty, yet romantic story. And let her know what you think, because trust me, if you read this story, you are in for a ride. Now, without further ado, let's get into today's topic of the video, which is the Infinity War Part 2 predictions. So one of the things that has been going on since if you guys, I'm sorry, spoilers ahead right now, just giving you the warning right now, spoilers are ahead. Alright? You've been warned. So, if you've seen the Avengers Infinity War movie, you know that it was, one, a cliffhanger, and two, which we knew it was going to be a cliffhanger, we just didn't know how it was going to end. And it didn't go anywhere like where we were thinking it was going to go. Most of us predicted that in Part 1, what was going to happen was, like, Iron Man, Cap, and Thor were going to bite the dust, and then it was going to be like a revenge story for Part 2. We all picked, that's what I don't want to say all of us, but I think most of us probably thought that was what was going to happen. It was going to be like, they managed to stop Thanos, but it kills Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, and then in the next one, it's Iron Man, Cap, and Thor's, the other Avengers avenging them, so to speak. So, that's not what happened. What happened was, Thanos gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and somewhere towards the end of the movie, snaps his fingers, and people just start dissolving. But, here's the kicker, none of the original Guard, as it's been called, that's Hulk, Thor, Cap, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and I think that's it. None of the original Avengers were hit. None of them. The people that were hit were kind of surprising, because it was like mostly a bunch of the newer Avengers. We saw Bucky go, we saw Black Panther, we saw Spider-Man go, we saw pretty much all the Guardians except for Rocket go. So it is nuts who all died in this movie. It was very much a surprise to me, because that's not where I remotely thought this was going to go. So now that I've had some time to think about it, since last week, if you guys, by the way, haven't seen last week's video, I know, shameless plug, it's the Avengers movie review, so go check that out. I know, shameless plug. Anyway, to continue it on, so what we're going to be talking about is all the different theories I have for the Avengers Part 2 that are going to be coming out soon. So the first thing that I'm predicting is going to be that what I felt was going to happen in the first movie, Avengers movie, is going to happen in this one. Sort of. Now, the original thought was Iron Man, Cap, and Thor were going to bite the dust in the first movie because their contracts were up. Well, as we know, that's how they kind of get around it. They split this movie into 2 parts. So even though on their contract it's 1 movie, even though we're getting it in 2 parts because it's a long movie and there's a big roster and there's still going to be a ton of characters even in part 2. And we know that probably, most likely in part 2, everybody that died is going to come back. Or at least mostly everyone. The other part is that we have to realize is that the actors who play those 3 main heroes, their contracts are up. All right, so they're not going to be making any more Thors, Captain Americas, or Iron Mans, or at least Steve Rogers, Cap, Son of Odin, Thor, and Tony Stark, Iron Man. So my theory is now that in this movie they will either die, which is my most likely guess, or they're going to be hanging up the cape, so to speak. Which wouldn't be that hard, because when you really think about it, we already have a replacement for Iron Man with Rhodey. As far as, if they don't want to introduce any new characters, we already have a replacement for Captain America as Bucky. Bucky being that replacement, and Falcon if Bucky can't continue it. But that being said, so Cap and Iron Man already have people who can replace them as far as characters with the same abilities, so to speak. The other thing that we have to remember is Thor, he has the Stormbreaker. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that is a big, hint to me. Because we saw in the end of Thor Ragnarok, or not the end of it, somewhere when they were making all the faces for all the big winning gladiators, one of them was Beta Ray Bill. So my theory is that they are going to my theory is that because Stormbreaker was technically Beta Ray Bill's hammer, so I think that if Thor dies in this movie, we're going to see, they're going to hint at or leave it open to have Beta Ray Bill come in later. Now, my money is on the fact that Thor is probably going to be the one who bites the dust at the very least. But there's a reason for that. One, because story's sake, they've already teased Captain Marvel. We're probably going to get Captain Marvel in the Infinity War Part 2. So the truth is, if we're going to get Captain Marvel, we already have a powerhouse hero replacing another powerhouse hero. Easy enough. One of my other theories is, and I do have a list, I am kind of cheating here. Well, as we've discussed, there's going to be a bit of a passing of the torch. Well, we know that Shuri survives, this is the Black Panther's younger sister. We know that she survived Thanos' finger snap. So, that being said, in the comic books, she is temporarily a Black Panther. So my theory is that she will be on the team that goes to kick Thanos' backside. So my guess is going to be on wherever he's at. I don't know where he's at. He's on some distant planet somewhere. So this is my overall guess for the story. Alright, so you're probably going to have Shuri taking on the role of the Black Panther for a short minute. You'll probably have the remaining Avengers plus Rocket. My theory is Rocket's going to take those remaining Avengers and they're going to go to Thanos with Rocket. Because Rocket probably knows how to make a spaceship that could travel that far. And then, Rocket, Shuri, Banner, surely they could put a ship together and rocket off to where... rocket off to where Thanos is. And then we know Nebula and Iron Man are on Titan. So, now, that is which is going to lead me to my next point of where I think this is going to go. One of my theories is that it's going to be Iron Man and or Nebula that takes the gauntlet from Thanos. For one of two reasons. Nebula is the one that does it in the comic books. She's the one who manages to wrangle away the glove along with another Adam Warlock, I think is the character's name. He was only briefly teased in the end of Guardians 2. So, in the comic books, they wrangle it away. But I don't think we're going to see Adam in this movie. Because he hasn't had any screen time before, so there's probably no reason. And then on top of that, my bigger theory is that Nebula, for the movies, is going to give the opening it's going to take, and then Iron Man's going to do it. Because effectively what's going to happen is, at the end of this Avengers movie, is supposed to be the closing of one door and the opening of another. So, basically, it would make total sense that Iron Man snags the glove away from Thanos. Now, if you guys have watched the first one, you would know that Thanos damaged the glove. If you look closely, when Thor is yelling at him, "What did you do? What did you do?" Thanos' glove is like hanging up here, or wherever in the background, and it's all like, it's yellow still, the gold, but it's like all covered in dirt and black, and it looks rusted. You know what I mean? So I think that is going to be one of the things that happens. If Thanos does not kill Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, what's going to happen is, this is purely speculation, this is my guess, what's going to happen is that when Iron Man rascals the glove back away from him, and he does his own little finger snap, or however he chooses to use the glove, I'm sure Iron Man probably isn't like that. He probably is like, "I'm just going to use the power of the glove!" But because it's so damaged, it's going to backfire and kill Tony. Now, it's going to do what he intended, but it's going to cost him. You know what I mean? It's going to cost Tony Stark his life. That's my bet. My bet is Captain America and Thor die in the battle. The hammer gets left wherever this battle is taking place. Cap kicks the bucket in the battle. And then, because neither of them were killed by the gauntlet, essentially, the gauntlet can't return them back. So that's my theory. The gauntlet is damaged, or the Infinity Gauntlet is damaged from too much power being used in one shot. And then, ultimately, this, it's up to Iron Man to put it back together. And then, the last and final fan theory and prediction for Avengers 2 is that this was all set into motion by Doctor Strange. Because he looked into the future and he saw only one chance where they win. Only one. And Doctor Strange is not only intelligent, but, as you know, a little bit on the weird side. So, to me, it wouldn't be beyond me to believe that he would realize that he would have to eventually let Thanos take the Infinity Stone that he had, which was the Eye of Agamotto, the Time Stone, and give it to Thanos, knowing that Tony Stark would be the one to fix it all. That is my complete list of theories for the Avengers Infinity War Part 2. Part 2. I swear I can count, guys. Alright, so if you've made it this far into the video, I want you guys in the comments below to share your fan theories. Let me know what you think is going to happen in Avengers Infinity War Part 2. And if you think I'm wrong, let me know. Or if I've, maybe put a thought in your mind that wasn't there before. Come on, shoot me some praise. My ego needs it. Nah, it's all good, bro. But you guys get the idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to start a conversation about the Infinity War movies below. And then, of course, make sure you like the video to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date with all my geeky content and all my other fan theories as they evolve. We might very much come back to this. And, yeah. I'm Brian for the Unbound Series channel. Go check out my pal Eve. And I'm signing off. Peace, guys.